I have
Twitter
not.
is
You
alright.
can.
Yeah, I'll do that now quickly.
Yeah.
Call it a wrestling podcast instead.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, we could just talk about wrestling for an hour instead of video games.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Fuck's sake. Resident Evil last week, wrestling this week. You fucking.
And Resident Evil this week, by the way.
Right.
I'm very excited about it.
Amy, you'd be proud.
I'll tell you what.
I finally started playing my review game from 2 weeks ago.
Do you know, I was going to get the page ready the other day because I thought it'd probably be done soon. I thought, no, it won't. I won't bother.
I've just been so busy, crazy. Like, I finally had time to actually sit down and play it. So it's actually quite a good game, to be fair. But I'll get a review to you this week.
You've got the permission
again.
to record, by the way, FYI.
Cool. After the week, I take loads of review games. I'll be out of work.
Right, there we go. I'm done. We're live. So it's up
Why are we so low down again?
to you. Are you going to push a tweet?
And 2 seconds here.
Okay.
Push the button.
I just want everyone to know I'm under 14 stone now. Thank you.
Well done.
Really?
You fucking cheeky bastard, eh?
You mother. Yeah.
Nah, fair play to you, mate.
It was, especially as I've had a week of just eating chocolate. Oh. Fucking state of that.
That's the best way to do it.
It's still old, though. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with being old.
You're not as old as
If
Jay
you-
mentally.
If you ever start to feel good about yourself, Dan, just talk to Ian. He'll soon put you back in your place. All right.
Yeah, I can see how that works quite quickly. Cheers. Can I get a mic check from everyone individually?
Go fuck yourself.
Cool. Yep. Thanks. Next.
Sorry, we've got we're live. Apologies for the swearing there.
Do an Ian cough.
Fantastic.
You my mic now.
Ross, let's have a listen to you.
Everything okay?
Yeah, you want to probably turn yourself up a smidge.
Well, this could be fun.
Go onto your program. Oh, I don't use that. I just go it from the program. Right, go again.
I don't need to open the program now.
Hello?
Hello.
There we go. That's better. Is my mic okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can press mute on yours, can't you? 'Cause you
Yeah.
spent £1 more.
See pants.
Actually, no, I've played less than Jamie's. And I've got a mute button.
And you got a mute button.
And you got. I'm pretty sure there's nothing on here. I just have to put a
I
hand
have
over
to have
it.
it. You know my coughing, because I have to mute myself. Oh, God. Just look at the betting odds. Seth Rollins is his favourite now. Oh.
No.
That's-
Has he won it already?
Yes.
Has he?
Has he?
Who?
Oh, no.
I would have thought he has.
Seth
hasn't he?
Rollins.
Seth
He had the
Rollins,
money in the
sure.
bank, didn't he? One day, one year.
Seth Rollins won it. He won it 2
Yeah,
years
he
ago.
won it. Yeah, it has. Well, yeah, I thought so, yeah.
He eliminated Strowman. Him and Lynch won it in the same year.
But then, I didn't want him to win it anyway. But now, definitely not.
He is meant to be coming back.
Yes,
tonight,
it
but I
was.
don't
Of course,
know
it was Lynch and Rollins the same year. Of course.
Yes, because he was wearing Chicago Bears outfit.
Yes. And did he win at Mania that year?
He did win at Mania. Yes.
Was that with the help? With,
Oh, yeah, he beat Lesnar, didn't he, in the first match of the night?
Yes.
Oh, first night. Of the
Oh
match.
yeah.
Lesnar
Yes,
goes
first match of
down.
the night, remember? It was like, Lesnar was like,
I
oh, hang
haven't-
around.
I haven't watched wrestling live in years, so
God, just going back trying to think about what happened 2 years ago. I was like, yeah. That was actually a good Mania for once. That was too long, though. It was like 7 hours.
I've
That
said
was
that.
far too long. They're doing it over 2 nights again this year as well. That should be interesting.
Yeah. The thing is, because 2 nights was such a good reception last year.
It's definitely better, especially at the minute with no fans now. I think 7 hours with the Thunderdome would be a bit much.
Well, what are they doing? Is it 25,000 fans they've got this year?
I think that was the plan, yeah. Try
Yeah,
and get at least that sort of
segue.
amount.
Done.
But it seems
clusters.
optimistic.
I think they're going to do it, but like more outside, so no one's near ringside or anything.
Yeah.
That'd be the
Well-
standard.
Well, that's the thing. It's going to be it's at the same place that the Super Bowl is, so that's obviously a benchmark for them because they've got 25,000 fans as well.
And that was lucky because Florida's rules are quite strict compared to other
Yeah.
places.
Okay, all the mics are fine. So I am gonna push the intro button. Where are
It
we?
is episode 14, isn't it?
Yeah,
I thought I changed it the other day. I'll check.
yeah, it is 14
Oh shit.
because it took me 5 minutes to work out how to spell 14th.
Whoa. 14th.
Yeah, I went 14th.
Fourth thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Close enough.
Oh yeah, I haven't changed it on there, have I? Is that right? 14th?
Yeah, no, yeah,
That's about right.
yeah, because I changed the top one the other day, and then I wasn't sure if I'd changed it ahead of schedule.
All right.
Remember.
Right, okay, scenes. Right, ready? I'll point at you when it's ready to talk. Are you recording,
Oh.
Ian?
Nope. I was waiting for you to press the start button and I'll record.
All right, so 3, 2, 1.
Oh, hi there. Welcome to Xpod Tavern episode 14th. We just discussed this. Episode 14th. I am Jamie. I'm joined once again by Daniel,
Hello.
Graham,
Hello.
Ian,
Hello.
and super special guest Ross. How are we, gentlemen? Are we well? Ross is quiet. Did he say anything? I didn't hear anything.
No, I
Forgot
think
to unmute my mic.
That worked out.
There we go. Great start to the
Start.
podcast. Well done.
So special, it doesn't even need the microphone. He's just sorted.
Elusive. Just sits
Yes.
there in the background.
Hello. All right. Have we had a good weekend so far, gentlemen?
Yeah, I've missed your beautiful faces from last week.
Feels like it was a lifetime ago already.
Yeah. It's been super wet outside.
And then so.
Has been.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to take that smirk. We'll move on. Right. Let's do a quick bit of housekeeping. Obviously, Twitch is live on Twitch. Oh, for God's sake, we're off to a cracker today. The podcast is live on Twitch right now. So if you want to come and see everyone's beautiful faces and Ian, then pop along to twitch.tv/Xbox Tavern. It'll be on podcast services in the coming day or two, as well as archived on YouTube at xboxtavern.com. No. Oh, my
No.
God.
Xbox
You
Tavern
can tell I've
official.
just woken up, haven't you?
Restart again.
youtube.com/Xbox Tavern official. There we go. Yeah, that'll do for pugs. I'm too tired for this. Right, let's get straight into the topic, shall we?
Do it.
So, I'm not sure about you, Dan, and Ross. I know Graham and Ian aren't massive fans, but Halo. What's your thoughts on Halo, Dan and Ross?
I'll let the
Let's let the guests go.
Yeah.
If we can hear
Enjoy
him start.
Halo. What are you on about?
I played the initial generation. It was sort of the one that got me onto Xbox from PlayStation. So I used to be a fan, but since 4, I haven't looked at the series.
That's probably for the best. Dan?
Yeah, I'm slightly excited to see where this goes in this carnation.
Cool. All right, and you, Ian, you sort of piped up there.
Yeah, I said, yeah, I don't mind the Halos. I've played through all of them.
Yeah.
I know ODST is one of Graham's favourites.
That killed me.
But yeah, I don't mind it. Like, it's actually good. Like, I mean, the Master Chief Collection is really good because obviously it's all bundled in one, and I managed to play through them all again, well, a while back. But
Yeah.
I still enjoy the franchise.
Yeah, good. I wasn't sure you were that much of a fan, but yeah, good. And Graham,
Yeah.
you
I
excited
was-
for the new Halo?
Yeah, I think I could be. I think I might be able to get back into it.
I mean,
Couldn't
anything would be
confuse it there.
5. 5 was quite disappointing. So let's.
5
just-
is terrible. Well,
mean, it's
single
not
player
great.
anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard to beat 5. I mean, the what's it called? War Games. That was quite fun.
Warzone, yeah.
Warzone thing.
Warzone,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. That was good fun, but the single player campaign was, yeah. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah. So let's talk about new Halo then, shall we? They put up the inaugural Infinite Inside for 2021, and it's really long, a really long read. So I recommend you go to Halo Waypoint and have a read. They're basically talking about they want every month they want to give an update onto where they are and how they're coming along with the obviously after delaying it for a year. And the main part of this one is talking about the sandbox. So they got about 4 or 5 people from the team to talk about how they're designing the weapons and the vehicles and the levels themselves and stuff. I've read through most of it, but as I said, it's really, really long. So I didn't make it quite to the end yet. But they're basically talking about some of the weapons. I got some screenshots of some of the weapons. It looks like this might be like the customization screen, so where you'd go to put some new decals or hopefully, God forbid, not change any scopes or anything. But the visuals look a marked improvement from that trailer they showed us in the last year. Has anybody else had a chance to have a look at this article at all?
I only had a quick look, but I didn't.
I had a quick glance,
yeah.
but like a quick glance. That is the word.
Yeah, as I said, I don't blame it because it's really, really long. So the idea is basically they're talking about, as I said, how they're designing the sandbox and going through things like survivability, the actions, the weapons, lone wolf. I'll read this one quickly because I've stopped on here. It says lone wolf, player goal. The player feels that they can stand alone and be effective without teammates or AI companions. To abide by the lone wolf principle means that we must provide the player with the necessary items and features to empower them to be effective on their own. Teamwork will augment the experience, but we need to ensure that the player can feel powerful on their own. I'm sure they just said that. One way we achieve this is by looking at designing, tuning, and balancing the starting loadout for players in multiplayer. The basic traits, tools, and weapons must allow the player to be effective from the moment they spawn, without the need to scavenge for good weapons. In quotes. So does anybody have any excitement after hearing that they want to make it good, basically?
I mean, you sold it so well, Graham. Jamie, I mean,
Yeah,
sorry,
don't blame me.
sorry, not you.
Well,
Jamie.
yeah.
You could cut and paste that paragraph against any kind of sandbox game.
Yeah,
exactly.
that was
Not really,
that
it's
was
like-
just one that I picked out. I was like, this that doesn't really sell it very well. Yeah.
But
Almost read out a horoscope for amount that was worth.
Am I right in thinking this is now once a month they're going to kind of give you statuses and updates of how they're getting on, where they're going to?
Yeah, I think that's the idea. It's every month. I think towards the end of the month they're going to just drop an update. Hopefully they won't be quite as long-winded as this, but I guess there's lots of like hardcore Halo fans out there who probably lapped this up. But I've sort of fallen off a little bit in recent years as well.
I think with what happened with the whole gameplay and how poorly that was received, I think they need to do a monthly sort of press release so that people can see the stage by stage development. Otherwise, people are going to go in blind going, I just remember Craig the Brute and I don't want to experience that. So if they're getting this monthly update, it might be building the bridge back to what fans were expecting beforehand.
This is, I think, as you said, that's the idea. But at the very top as well, they also say that this isn't the place for breaking news or release dates or new gameplay trailers and stuff. They'll be coming separately. So these are more like in-depth, obviously from the size of this article, focusing on specific bits in amongst a new trailer or a multiplayer beta or something like that, which they don't obviously give any information about here yet.
Yes. They're also setting the expectations, aren't they? We go away with
They want to improve from the storm that was last year, so they want to kind of showcase they actually are trying to improve the game.
Yeah.
I mean, from the only screenshots they're showing really are the weapons, like I said, like that customization screen. But it does look a lot better already than it did. And then there's a lot of concept art and stuff. But yeah, it's on Halo Waypoint. It's very long. If you've got half hour to sit and read it, I'm sure it's got lots of very interesting stuff in there. But it's too long to read here. Right, let's move on because we've got wrestling to watch. Okay. So, KOTOR. Apparently, a new KOTOR is in the works somewhere, but it's not being developed by EA or BioWare.
Yeah.
This comes from the BOB podcast, which is his contributor Best Spin Bulletin reports that a new installment of the fan favorite RPGs in development, adding it's not with EA, and that we'll never guess what studio has taken on the project. Graham, I know you're a fan of KOTOR. Do you have any idea or any thoughts on who it could be or who you'd want it to be that we make a new KOTOR?
No. Obviously taken away from EA and BioWare from the first one, but then the second one wasn't done by BioWare either, I don't think.
No, that was Obsidian, wasn't it?
Yeah, so as long as they stick to like the true Knights of the Old Republic sort of lore and the actual gameplay around that, I mean, they can't really go too far wrong. I suppose they can do. A lot of series have gone completely tits up, but you'd hope they haven't, because people have been itching for a new one for a while.
Yeah, what's it been? Must have been about 20 odd years since the second one, is it?
Yeah, definitely felt like it.
Yeah, it's about 16, 17 years. Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time, yeah.
What about you, Ross? Do you have any interest in KOTOR at all?
I wasn't a big Star Wars fan at the time of KOTOR coming out, but since, well, I don't know, since I think started watching the Clone Wars animated series, I started getting a lot more of Star Wars, so it's something that will definitely be day one for me when it comes out, if it comes out.
In about 3 years' time, along with everything else we've been talking about recently.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dan?
Yeah, I've never played KOTOR, so this would be, kind of the new beginnings. I can't, for me, older games I can't go back to. So if the graphics look funky, I'm out.
Like Pac-Man and Pong, because you're that old.
They're stylized, but yeah, I can't go back to those. So I'll wait and see. I mean, if they had some achievements, that might twist my arm.
Oh dear.
Yeah, sorry.
Ian, do you have much interest in KOTOR and any thoughts on the new one?
No, zero.
Cool.
It just does not interest me one bit. I don't mind Star Wars and when it's in the films and stuff, but the games, no interest whatsoever.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of with you. I really like the first KOTOR, but I honestly couldn't care less about Star Wars itself. I just thought it was a good game. But I never played the second one, so this doesn't really float my boat either, to be honest.
Yeah, it's one of the ones that I'll let it go, and I might pick it up if it goes to Game Pass and have a dabble. But,
yeah, well, that's the thing. If because what did we just say? Obsidian did the second one, didn't they? So it could be that they're working on this one as well. In which case, it would go to Game Pass,
or if even
part of Microsoft.
true.
No love for Force Unleashed?
Force Unleashed was all right. I mean, I did.
That's all right.
Yeah, it was all right, but again, I just kind of played it for a bit, and then I was like, okay, this is it.
Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order, that's what it's about at the moment, guys. You need to jump on that. Amazing
Different
game.
parts of the story.
Is that on EA Play?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass, yeah. Yeah, again, that one, I only played about an hour, and then I gave up. I was like, yeah, it's all right, I suppose, but...
Oh, you need to play till the end. It's
a bit too Dark Soulsy for me as well.
Oh, no, you put it on easy. You don't play medium.
Yeah.
You go easy. That game was hard as balls.
Nah. You finished, what did you just say, Jedi Fallen Order grade, didn't you?
No, I haven't finished it yet.
Have you not? Oh.
Drop it down to difficulty. You'll do it.
Yeah, that might be the trick.
It's still hard, but it's a lot easier than it was on normal.
Did you finish it, Chocolate?
I finished a game. I have finished a game.
Oh my god!
I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Gentlemen, you can check my achievements. I can tell you what happens. I could ruin it right now.
Call of Duty.
I know, and that was only like how many hours?
Like an hour a month, pretty much.
Oh, it felt like it.
Yeah, so obviously that goes in. The new KOTOR goes in hand with all the other new Lucasfilm games coming out. You know, the Division developer Massive Entertainment are making a new Star Wars game. Ubisoft, obviously, that's them. I'm getting ahead of myself there. Yeah, so Star Wars, yeah. For those who care about Star Wars, maybe a new Star Wars. More Star Wars.
More Star Wars.
Yay!
All of the Star Wars. Has anybody of you? I know we just not really interested in Star Wars, but anybody watched The Mandalorian?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
I saw some of it, and it was alright actually.
Mandalorian.
I saw the bit where Sasha Banks come into it.
It's really good. Really worth the watch.
Is that the Baby Yoda one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
I've seen
It
it.
was alright. I didn't watch all of it, only sort of bits and pieces, but anyway, that's enough Star Wars. How about some Bleeding Edge? Who remembers that game?
Oh my god, that was a dreadful game.
For about a week.
I remember it.
Yeah, I thought you loved it, Bleeding Edge.
I loved it for like maybe 2 games, and then realised I've got 1000G this, and I decided to hate it more and more as I went along.
You don't have to do 1000G this, you know.
That is true. That is true, but
What competition were you in? Were you getting your ratios up?
that was it. You know it.
So obviously Ian loves it. How about you guys? How about Ross? You played Bleeding Edge at all?
Never even looked at it. It's not my. I'm not one of those. What way is it? This way type gamers. I can do your Apex and your.
I tell you, it's
Valorant
a
and-
lot better than Hyperscape, and that was one of the worst I've played.
Yeah, Hyperscape's
Out of
dreadful.
Wales.
Yeah, Hyperscape with NAF. But yeah, well, it seems like the majority of the gaming population are with you there, Ross, because no one seemed to play it. And now, just I think just under a year since it came out, they've stopped updating it and bringing new content, and they're going to move on to focusing on their other projects like Senua's Saga, Project Mara, and the Insight project, whatever that may be. So obviously, it's still going to be up on Game Pass. You're still going to play it.
Doesn't surprise me though. It probably won't get the numbers in.
Well, it didn't.
That was it.
I think it went through a massive nosedive 10 days into all the into it because it was so broken. So
Yeah. Well, when we played it, it was the first couple of days it was out, and it was just hard to get into games. It wasn't very fun. The combat itself was just naff. And yeah, it's just obviously it got off to a bad start and just seemed to get worse from there.
Yeah, it just wasn't. Yeah, it just wasn't fun because if as soon as you went off on your own, you die. But you have to always stick together, and it's just like. I know it's all about teamwork and stuff, but it's really heavily focused on that.
Yeah, and especially if you're playing with random people as well, it's even harder to do teamwork sort of stuff, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's I mean, there's no skill. It's just who can team battle the best. Or who...
Yeah. And then like I said, the actual combat itself, when you lock on, it was just because people were moving so fast, the camera was all over the place. It's hard to keep track of what's going on.
That's because you're old.
There is that as well, obviously, but yeah. So basically, if you're still playing it, good for you, but don't expect any new updates. We're real negative again this week, aren't we? We're good at that.
That's standard though, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do a quick positive one then, and then we can get on to talking some gameplays. So, Xbox Game Pass has over 18 million subscribers. Best deal in gaming, remember? And Xbox Live itself has passed 100 million subscribers. So, Game Pass, obviously, as I said, best deal in gaming, keeps getting better. 18 million. That's madness.
It's considering
That is
it was
That's impressive.
definitely because it was 12, wasn't it? Like 6 months ago.
Yeah, I think so.
So they
Yeah.
managed.
I think the article says somewhere in there it's in the last year it's gone up 50-something%.
Wow.
That would do it.
The Xbox brand revenue has gone up 51%.
Okay. Then.
Yeah, and then basically a lot of big numbers. Everything's going up. I guess everyone being stuck at home has sort of helped that a bit. But I know most of us are subscribed. Ross, you got Game Pass as well, I assume.
Yes, definitely. I think when it first dropped, I had stacked it, so that it was like 3 and a bit years that I've got, and I've just sort of tidied that over. So it's money that I don't miss for the value that you get out of it.
It's crazy, isn't it? The amount of good games, especially some of the ones we're going to talk about later on as well. And it's madness how good value it is for what you get. And then obviously the recent kerfuffle with the Xbox Live Gold price increase. No wonder they wanted to double it, because if you've got 100 million people actively using it, can you imagine I'm sure their eyes lit up with dollar signs, and but even it's sticking at the standard price, they're not going to be hurting for money, are they?
No, definitely not.
I wonder whether I heard on on another podcast they were talking about whether they were trying to get rid of Xbox Gold or Xbox Live Gold.
Phase it out, yeah.
Yeah, and potentially with going free to play on your free to play games, maybe they do some rejigging.
Yeah, I reckon now's the time. I reckon they'll do something. Come E3 or something.
I think you'll see. I mean, I think I mentioned it last week. What they should have done is kept. If you're on gold, you sub up to just normal Game Pass, and then you stay the same price for a year or 2 years, and then you then swallow the costs after that. But I can see something happening.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of deal like that. Like you said last week, and just saying no, they can't just take it away, because as I said, if that's included in Ultimate, and you just decide, oh, we don't want to charge you for Xbox Live Gold anymore, then are you going to keep Ultimate at the same price, or are you going to give something else in its place, or reduce? Probably won't reduce the price, but
I understand if you haven't got a good PC, you don't play PC gaming much, you don't need Ultimate. You just need a normal one. But for me, Ultimate's key because I'm always playing on the PC.
Yeah.
But then with the work that they're doing with xCloud as well, having Ultimate, it just
That's
regardless.
just brilliant.
Yeah, and coming to iOS in touch wood the summer.
yeah. See, that
Was it
could
not
have
meant to be the spring?
Is it spring?
I mean, anyone that enters the iOS deserves
Wait.
I'll glide over that comment for you. That could have been a good way to get rid of gold, though. They could have said, we're taking away Xbox Live Gold, but we're going to chuck in the cloud gaming for free, and then that might have offset the cost type thing. But now they've kind of stuffed themselves. If they take it away, they've got to try and add something else in. And there's not really anything else they could add to Game Pass or anything like that, is there really?
No, I think they have their two platforms, Ultimate and then Standard.
Yeah.
Ultimate is if you want to play on multiple platforms. Normal if you just want your Xbox jobby.
Yeah, but then it devalues the Ultimate for you. Oh, we're going to go round and round in circles here, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they'll just chuck another year or something on your subscription and get rid of gold.
Funny enough, that's what I was thinking. If you upgrade now, you get 56% extra on your on
That's
your
a very
crossover.
specific percentage.
Yeah, I thought, why not?
I want to see that. I want 56.34%.
56%.
0.333. Why not?
But yeah, so basically, Game Pass is doing great, as it should do, and Xbox Live seems to be kicking along nicely. I wonder how many of those Xbox Live users are Series X and S though, because they haven't announced numbers for the consoles, have they?
Not that I've seen in that.
No, not yet.
There was something I covered it in one of my news stories a couple of weeks ago. It was to do with the subscriptions for Ultimate. 40+% of the people that had signed up to Ultimate in the last year were now using a Series S model. So it was some. It was, I can't remember the exact number, but it was something along those lines.
No, okay.
Nice. Yeah. Good. Anyone has anything else to add to the Ultimate discussion or Game Pass discussion before we move on to games we've been playing?
They're still in gaming.
Yeah.
Is it really? Is it?
A lot of Yakuzas have come into it, which has made me sweat a little bit. I'm trying to get them all done.
Yeah,
Which one are you on now?
I'm still on the 0 one. So I've done the first one, gone back to 0, and then I need to do 2, and then the new 3 that's just come out as well. So only about 3.5 to go.
Nice. Well, that's a perfect segue. Why don't you tell us about how you're getting on with 0, Gray?
Yeah, I was playing a bit more of it today. It's good. It just follows in the same crazy thread of the first game. It's just, like I said, a more fun, crazy version of Shenmue. And that's actually playable, and you know where to go in this direction. And there's this not busy old people all in the street.
Humming.
And yeah, it's just different side missions, just crazy missions. The combat can get a tad bit repetitive, but the story generally has a good feel to it, and it's interesting. And yeah, just fun to play as well. And I'm just looking forward to going through them all, but they're quite long games, so it's going to take a long time.
Do you have any idea of how far you're through it?
Quite early on, I think I'm only just past chapter 2 or 3, I think. Usually they have like 8 or more, 8 to 10, if not more chapters.
Yeah.
It's only 20 hours to go.
Yeah, so I mean, you're probably not far off.
Have you been playing much else this week then?
Yeah, finished off Phoenix. I was I was just teetering on the last mission because it says, save here before you jump into the final one. And I was doing all the side bits, and then I realized, what am I doing with my life? There's literally no reason to do these things. So I just jumped in and finished off the final boss. took them out and it's easy as anything. So that's another one done. And yeah, playing the 2 review games, one which still on embargo, and the other one which is that Crashlands, which I think was released about 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's already out, that one.
Yeah, so that's the mobile port one.
Yeah. And how's that getting on so far?
Yeah, it's all right. It's kind of they call them roguelike kind of games, but it's kind of like an RPG, but taking out the leveling system of it and just giving you a step-by-step sort of upgrading system. So you get so far, you take on the enemy that's kind of that you can with the weapons, and then you get their components to upgrade to the next tier, and then with that you take on higher level monsters to get the next grade gear, and just rinse and repeat. And I thought I got to the end of it, and then you go to a new world and it's kind of rinse and repeat, which was a little bit annoying because it's like the same thing but in a different planet or different realm or something, but more components, more enemies, level up the gear you've got, and then rinse and repeat and do it again. So it's getting a bit old. They've thrown in more missions of side things to do, but yeah, it's quite hard as well. But it's all right. But it's a mobile port. You can tell it's like a mobile kind of game that's been ported over to. It plays absolutely fine on the console, but as in this, it doesn't feel like there's much sort of guts to it. It's just quite lightweight.
Fair enough. Is it single player? Did you say? Or
yeah, it's just a single player thing. It drew me in because it's like the crafting element of it, but it's not like you go out and hunt for the kind of crafts. You just have to literally just upgrade stuff to kill the monsters that are at that particular level, and just memorizing enemy patterns and stuff, which is usually okay, but your character's quite slow, so you always get caught in some sort of crossfire and end up dying and respawning.
Starting again, yeah. Nice. Okay. Lovely. So you're keeping busy. Mainly, you got your work cut out with Yakuza by the sounds of it in there.
I wanted to get that back onto the track on that one, so I'll be getting these written up tomorrow and then getting back onto the Yakuza.
Yeah. Nice. All right. How about you, Ian? What have you been up to this week?
Me, mainly been playing through the beautiful game that is called Hitman 3.
And how are you getting on with Hitman 3?
I've already completed it. So I'm just going through now, brushing up all the other extra kills that you can do and extra kind of areas and different stories you can do. But yeah, thoroughly enjoying that. They've really upped their game. I still probably prefer the first or second one compared to the third one. Just some of the levels are quite linear compared to where 2 and 1, where it was all open world. You could do anything you want. But apart from that, it's still really, really good game, really high standards, and they've really done really well to kind of close out the story.
Yeah, it seems to be getting good reviews across the board. Has anyone else here played Hitman yet?
I haven't, no.
I was just going to say, Ian, do you have to have played 1 and 2 to jump into 3, or?
You do. Reality is, to know the kind of story, but with 3, 1 and 2 come with it.
All right, okay.
So you should be able to, as long as you, because I think with Game Pass, I think 1 came with Game Pass, and I think 2's free with it anyway. So I think you just carry on the story and play through all the story from 1, 2, and 3 in one quick succession if you wanted to.
And the old levels have been sort of upgraded to take advantage of Hitman 3's mechanics, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I went back through some of the other levels, and you can tell that they've actually kind of the upscaling power side and with the Series X enhancement, they've really done a good job of it. So you can do notice the difference.
Nice.
So I'm thoroughly enjoying that. I've also gone back to one of the reviews I did quite a few while back called The Survivalist.
Yeah, I saw you were playing that the other day.
Yeah, so I thought I'd give that a go because I played it from a review and I kind of also, I love The Escapist. So I thought I'd give it a go, give it another go, kind of try and get into it. And actually, now kind of work my head around what I need to do. And kind of, there's no real learning curve. You kind of got to learn yourself as you go along. There's no real guides or tell you what to do. So, finally enjoying that actually. It's quite good fun. So I'm playing for that as well.
Nice. And I imagine about 1,000 other games for achievements, but we don't need to.
Also played a bit of Football Manager as well, because,
Yeah.
That about it, really.
Happy days. Happy days. All right, Dan, we'll go to you next.
Ooh.
Keep busy.
I keep busy, yeah. I just dropped a review for Balance a Lot. A physics-based game where you're a poor pauper that wants to become a knight to join the jousting crew. The blunt way of saying this is light language you love. Don't touch it with a barge pole. Managed to get some achievements out of it, so that was the only good thing about the game. I cannot do physics-based games at all. Just can't get my head around it. So
it's like a 2D.
2D looking
side
scrolling. Yeah, it's got platform in it. It's got. I mean, aesthetically, it looks quite pleasing. It's kind of cartoon drawing. It looks nice. It looks cute. It's just the physics part of the game is just so hard. So you have to balance with your stick, and you move forward and backwards with your triggers. And obviously, as you're going forward, you have to pull the stick back to the left so you can kind of balance out. But as you make a jump, you have to hold on to the trigger, otherwise you won't make the jump. Yeah. It's so frustrating and so annoying. So yeah, I did not enjoy my time with that. I started playing Little Nightmare. Oh my god, what a good game that is. Really enjoying it so far. I'm probably half hour into it. Reminds me a lot of Inside, so it's just like side scrolling. You interact with the environment to get through to the next, I don't want to say level because it's not the level, the next section as you're going through the map. There's not much dialogue. Very eerie, you can feel it gives you a bit of tension with how it does with the music, the sound, etc. And I've started playing the medium.
Oh, that's prophetic.
Ooh,
it's prophetic.
Yes.
What are your quick thoughts first before we throw over to the man that did the review?
Yes, so I like it. I think it does a good job of building suspense. So there is a jump scare in it that. Bless me, sorry. There is a jump scare. Thank you. There is a jump scare quite near the beginning. I think about 45 minutes in, you kind of peer through a door. And yes, I did swear.
Oh, I saw that actually.
Yeah, Jesus, that made me jump. However, the rest of the game, or leading up to that point, it's not like that. It just builds suspense. It builds terror. It looks good. I've had a play around in the two worlds. Because I only looked at one, I think it was one of the trailers, I didn't quite understand how the two worlds worked.
Do you understand it now?
I do now. Right at the beginning, it throws you into a cutscene, and you're like, oh, okay, is this how the two worlds work? It's a cutscene. I just sit here and do nothing. But there's a lot more to it.
Okay, so it does explain a bit.
It does, yeah. Yeah, and I don't want to spoil too much, and because I'll probably just take all of Ross's thunder if I talk about it. So
I was going to say let's throw it over to a man who can perhaps explain how the two worlds work and what he thought. His video reviews up on YouTube now, up on the site as well, and he's our special guest, Mr. Ross. Take it away, sir.
Touching on what Dan said in regards to the two worlds thing, it's where it adds in the problem solving part of it. You'll tend to find a lot of times when you're in the normal human world, your paths may be obstructed by something, or you'll need to divert power from one place to another, but you can't do it in the normal world. And that's when the split screen comes in it, so that you can interact with something in the spirit world, which will have an effect in the normal world. I wholeheartedly loved it. It's the best horror game I've played since Silent Hill 2. That's including the new style Resident Evil, the Outlast, things like that. It doesn't rely on just, something big and scary has jumped in front of you, run away. It gives you, the best way I can describe it is a sense of dread. You never feel comfortable. Doesn't matter if you're outside, inside, in the normal world, the spirit world. There's no time where you can just go, right, I'm relaxed. I can take my time to break down what's around me. You're always thinking something's going to happen.
There's anticipation building, isn't it? And you don't you feel uneasy, and then there's like an anticipation build, and you can't say it's from the music or it's from there's just you just feel like something.
It's an culmination of everything. I think in my review, I'm trying to think. I think I said, I can't remember, it's like an oppressive type atmosphere. It constantly feels like you're getting swallowed up by the whole game. Whether that's because of the lighting effect, the camera, that you only have very limited. You can move the camera to an extent, but it's very old school Resident Evil. So your camera's sort of fixed in that direction, and you can move it a little bit to see things, but you never actually can see around things. So you're going around corners blind, you're going upstairs blind. It adds it like that. And the audio side of the game is just beautiful. It's absolutely amazing how well they've done with whether it be music, whether it just be ambient noise. It's a really well developed audio score.
The music was done by I forget his name, but the guy who did the Silent Hill music and stuff, wasn't it?
Akira Yamaoka.
That's it. Thank you. Yeah. Does it hold up to? Because that Silent Hill soundtrack is incredible. Is it?
No,
nothing on those levels.
Nothing will ever match Silent Hill 2 for the soundtrack and for how the game's managed. But it's the very similar sort of mold. It's very high piano notes at times. It's always the tone of the music or the tempo of the music is always changing. So even if you're not in a boss area, for example, you'll get this quite high paced type music to make you feel like something's about to happen, and then it dies off and you're like, I'm still waiting, but then nothing comes. So it's that sort of sense of I'm expecting the worst, but you never quite know when the worst is going to come.
Yeah.
So
nice. And with the two worlds thing, is it always presented with the two worlds at once, or is it bits where it's just you're just in one or the other?
It plays three different ways. You'll either always be in the material world, always be in the spirit world, or it'll split between the two and you'll see both of them at the same time.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, it looks. I did want to try and start it this weekend, but I didn't get around to it. But yeah, your review definitely sold it to me because I think you enjoyed it.
I would recommend making sure that it's pitch black and either headset or some sort of surround sound.
Yeah. It does say you have to. It does say play. It plays better. It's got that. I can't remember the game, Hellblade, where it comes up with. It says you should play this with audio headphones.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And according to Dan, a change of underwear after 45 minutes.
I tell you what,
that bit was
because you're not expecting it, and your character kind of. I don't want to divulge too much. Like you do something, and then all of a sudden it's like rah, and you're like mother. Oh,
what I will say, and it's another part that they do really well. The action that you do to trigger that cutscene, you actually do that quite a lot throughout the whole game. So they've planted the seed in your mind that the last time you did this happened. So you're every time you have to do that action, you're like,
get an extra pair of hands on standby.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, it sounds good. Graham and Ian, do you have any interest in playing it?
Those kind of horror games have never really sort of resonated with me too much. Plus, it's even harder to play because my wife really doesn't like probably being in the room when something like that's on. So I'm definitely going to have to play that one kind of late at night, which is probably the best time to play it anyway.
It's the ideal scenario, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a go. I mean, from the reviews and stuff, it looks very good, glowing reports. So it's probably one I definitely have to play. Whether I'll be playing it in the night time with headset on is a different story.
Or with a nappy on.
Yes, we want like bright lights, everything like under the house.
You're not scaring me now. You can't scare me. Your lights are on.
The wife sitting right next to you, holding your hand. It's all right, Ian. It's all right.
No, she's got the controller as he's holding onto her arm.
That's it.
How
No, she's worse than QuickTime Events and Jamie, and that's saying something.
What about achievements, Ross? You got to sell it to him now. Did you get the 4,000?
I know I've missed. There was 2 secret ones that I haven't unlocked and 2 ones to do with collectibles. But I've got, I think, 95% on both of them, so I've missed one.
Oh, there we go.
Do you see his little eyes perk up there? He's like, oh, actually.
So there's four different characters that you can, no, 5 different characters that you can get collectibles for. So they all have
Okay.
different, all different backstories to do with why they are prevalent to the story.
Yeah.
There's other achievements based on your interactions with other characters in the game. And then there's one achievement that I've not got an idea how the hell you managed to get in it, because it seems impossible, but I'm sure Ian will smash it, make me look like a beginner.
Curious now, but yeah.
That's all it takes.
Challenge
Get some
accepted.
kudos. Yeah, by next Sunday, Ian, I want the full 1000G. Easy, done. All right. Have you been playing anything else, Ross?
I have jumped on a couple of games just to see how they're looking. So Fallen Order, I jumped back into that. Took a little Star Wars kick. I tried Squadrons, couldn't play it, so I thought, right, Fallen Order it is. Started the new game plus on that, so beautiful. It was a beautiful looking game beforehand. It's even nicer now. Just a bit smoother to play with the refresh. One of my favourite Star Wars games, probably just behind the Force Unleashed games. But no, recommend jumping into that again just to see the improvements that was brought in recently.
Nice. And obviously that's on Game Pass as well, I imagine. Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. As we were saying. Cool. Lovely. Before we carry on, it's got a couple of quick questions in the chat. Some man named Kunich says, question for Ian. Would he rather play through the entire Gears of War and Halo franchise or play nothing other than Ratalaika games for 2 years?
Oh, God, I have to play Gears. I would play Gears. What was that one? Gears and what?
Gears and Halo.
Oh, hey, also Halo's not too bad, so
Yeah.
I can stick to just Halo and then.
No. Gears as well.
Or Language of Love.
Back up a little bit here. Ian doesn't like Gears.
Please, Ross. Please help me. He just won't have it.
I haven't
I
played
thought
any
it
of
was
the Gears. Yeah, never played any of them.
Being a Patriots fan, I thought you were like this was a solid foundation to build on, but that foundation has just been obliterated, just destroyed. It's gone.
I did promise Jamie after my competition I might start Gears 5 with him.
Gears is
with
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's it's nice. It's never piqued my interest. Like never. Probably because I was the serious achievements probably pissed me off.
Yeah, the seriously achievements take some work.
And that's me. That's like me. Like, yeah, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go one day.
Yeah, you don't need 1000G. We just need to play it. That's all you need to do.
We heard it here first.
Just do the 3-hour campaign. Just do Hive Busters. That's what it's about.
Have you played Hive Busters yet, Ross?
No, I haven't. No.
you go.
Call yourself a
Perfect.
Gears fan.
I was a Gears trilogy fan. As soon as they started messing around with anybody other than Marcus, I was like, ugh, it's a waste.
Yeah, I must admit I wasn't a bit as big a fan of 4, but 5 is bloody awesome.
5's good.
Yeah, and the DLC was awesome as well.
Can you play 5 and not play the others? They give you like a backstory, do they?
I think they give you a previously on type thing.
I don't think like the story of 5, you don't really have much to do with anything that happened in the first 3, other than some of the characters you come across and why you're in the predicament that you're in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like Halo, where they got the first Halo 1, 2, 3 of its own trilogy, and then they started a new trilogy with 4 and 5.
Yeah.
So the same sort of thing with Gears. They started with some new characters and that, and as Ross said, some characters come back and sort of cross over, but it's a whole new sort of section, as it were.
Whole new world.
A whole new world. And then he asked another question for me, Turd. Would I rather play through every Final Fantasy game or never play Resident Evil again?
Oh.
Well, the problem is it would probably take the rest of my life to play for every Final Fantasy game, so I might as well just not bother.
Never play Gears, never play Final Fantasy.
Yeah, you can't take my Resident Evil away from me. That's inhumane.
Well, that means playing X2 though.
The only one I ever played nearly to the end was Final Fantasy X.
That's the singing one, isn't it?
Yeah, X2 was bad.
X2 singing, yeah.
I had never played Final Fantasy until I seen somebody play 10, and I sat and watched them play the whole of 10. I thought this game looks absolutely amazing. So when
was
X2 came out, I thought, right, This is the one I'm going to start on.
Oh, you started on that. Oh, God.
That ruined it until I actually started playing 7. That was me. What a terrible
Yeah.
experience to start a
10
Final Fantasy
is-
adventure.
Even with me, like, I was like, oh, I love my achievements, but with 10-2, I was like, yeah, I might skip this one.
Yeah.
Such a farce of a game.
That was painful.
Yeah, as I started, I was like, yeah, I want to skip these achievements, I think. Let's go into a new game.
Oh, dear.
Lesson learned
Oh,
on that
dear.
one.
Yeah.
The 3 girls singing and fighting that way. Wow.
He loves the song.
Yeah.
He used to sing it to me.
Yeah. He destroyed a few Kleenex boxes with those ones.
Definitely. I think it's his favourite, other than 8.
Yeah, he seems to be in agreement with you. Just put starting on X2 and then a bit slap in the face emoji. Yeah. So no, thank you. I'd rather go about Resident Evil again and play any Final Fantasy. But luckily that's not the case. So Ross, have you
Why
played
is
anything
that?
else before we skipped over? Before we got on to
I
the questions?
was in a conversation in one of the Discords I'm in about Fallout, and it sort of made me think, wait a minute, I've got like 4 more achievements to completely complete the full game, including the DLCs. So instead of doing the normal thing and loading up a previous save, I started off the game again to finish my 4 DL. Well, in fact, the thing is, the achievements are in the DLCs, so I'm going to have to wait to complete the game before I do the DLCs to get these 4 achievements.
Is that Fallout 4?
Yes.
You should breeze through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the DLCs one.
Game.
Yeah.
I think the 2 that I'm missing is the 2 DLCs that I don't have all the achievements for is the Wasteland Contraption. So I basically need to just build machines on my settlement, and the Nuka World DLC because I couldn't be bothered becoming a bad guy.
It's a perfect time to
Aw.
have load up a previous save and just crack on with it.
Yeah, that's the sensible way of doing it, but no.
That's the easy way. See, you and Ian get along after all.
Gonna get 70 hours in at my save and go, I don't want to be a bad guy. That's off.
Yeah, delete save.
Exactly. It's just sitting there.
Delete, say, I'm over. That's it. Start again.
Nice. Yeah, I never did finish Fallout 4. You finished it for grade, didn't you?
Yeah.
I did all of them, all the endings. All the endings.
Loved it because I remember the OGs, the 1 and 2, great stories.
I never played 1 and 2. That's the only 2 that I didn't play.
That's really what kind of gets you into it. I recommend it. It doesn't. It's nowhere near as the scale of what sort of 3 and 4 and New Vegas and all those levels, but you kind of get the same feel for the world from a sort of point and click third tactics view of it.
So where's 1 and 2 based?
PC based. Oh, it's the same sort of you're out of a vault kind of thing in the wasteland, but you have to. It's a lot. It's a lot more to it. It's not just like it's not first person like that kind of thing. It's tactical based, and you have to plan your route along a map, gauge your food, gauge your where you're going, and yeah. But the story is impressive on both 1 and 2.
Nice.
I mean, like for me, I probably say of the later ones, I think I probably prefer New Vegas the most out of 3, 4, and
New Vegas was great.
New Vegas is
New
the
Vegas
best.
was, yeah. So you get idea. Just such a rich, brilliant story that was the chip and everything, and I think they brought in the new whole kind of survival interface where you can actually have to eat and drink.
Yeah, the survival mode's good fun. I've played survival mode on 4 quite a bit as well.
I bought New Vegas, and I think I installed it once, and that's as far as I got.
Oh, you've got to play.
Oh,
You've got
Come on.
if I said if you had to pick between 3, 4, New Vegas is probably the one I'll say definitely play.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, Jamie, you're giving Ian a hard time for not playing Gears, and you've not played one of the greatest games ever made.
Exactly. Such a phony.
I did really enjoy Fallout 3, but that's the only one I really played. I didn't like 4 at all.
Vegas is a better version of 3.
Vegas is that's it, spot on.
I think
Definitely
the problem
play
was
Vegas.
I picked it up. It must have been about 2 years after it come out, and by that point I'd moved on. I'd forgotten about it at that point, and then I bought it on PC, and I didn't really have a decent PC at the time either. It's just in the Steam sales, we can't help yourself. Because I need like £3 or something. I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up. I'll play it one day.
Best advice for anybody wanting to play Fallout New Vegas is as soon as you start the game, make your way to Quarry Junction. You're sorted for the rest of the game.
Quarry Junction. All right, I'll bear that in mind.
I think it's like £12 as
About
well.
10
And it's
years.
backwards compatible.
Yeah,
It's on
see, I
Game
think-
Pass. No, it's Game Pass. What am I on about?
Yeah.
Vegas is on Game Pass.
See, yeah, is
There we go.
it actually on? All right, I'll tell you what. That'll be my homework for this week then.
I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty
I'll have
sure
a
New
look.
Vegas is on Game Pass.
If it's not, I've got a PC now, so I can play it on that. So
Yeah.
I'll play a little bit of it, just a
I
little bit.
completed my homework from that you set as well. Completing that Donut King, whatever it was.
Oh, did you finish it? Did you?
Yeah, completed that one. That's easy.
Yeah.
The girls
it's
like
pretty
watching
straightforward, isn't
as well, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got back to it yet. I think I'm pretty much at the end.
We
But...
haven't finished it. The game's not even that long.
No, I only played for what, an hour and a half.
Ugh, you sent me the homework and I've completed it before you even.
Yeah. Well, I've been
Shocking.
playing other things.
It's on Game
Speaking
Pass,
of
by
which-
the way.
Well, Vegas.
Is it all right?
There we go.
I'll
See?
set
There
that,
we go.
I'll set that download. Is that Xbox or PC?
Xbox. Oh,
yeah,
both.
it's Obsidian, so
Yeah. All right. I'll get that downloaded and I'll try and play at least an hour before next Sunday, at least. Maybe. If I'm not playing Resident Evil, all right, are you ready for the Resident Evil hour now? Are you ready?
Hang on.
Are you prepared? Look how excited you all look.
Here we go. Come
Come
on,
on, fanboy, reel it off.
reel it off. Come on. 20 minutes and Royal Rumble starts. Chop, chop.
20 minutes. It's 10:30, not 10.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, right.
Yeah.
Okay, go on then.
We
50
got
minutes.
50 minutes. Right, you ready for 49 minutes of Resident Evil? No, I'll go very, very quickly. So I played the reverse beta. I don't know if you remember, they showed the trailer off at the Resident Evil showcase a couple of weeks ago.
No.
And the beta, yeah, I know you didn't watch it, but the beta started on Friday night. It's not as bad as it looked in the trailer, but it's not really all that good either, to be honest. It's like 6 players, all PvP, and you take control of one of the characters from the series, so Chris, Jill, Claire, etc., etc. And it's just you run around. The only level in the beta is the RPD, the police station.
Can you pick who you are?
Yeah, you can pick from. There's 6 characters to choose from, and each one has. They all start with a pistol as well as a personal weapon. So Leon starts with a shotgun. Claire starts with a little sort of submachine gun. Ada
Jill
Wong,
hiding.
Jill
Pick.
starts with a loaf of bread.
What does Jill have? The ability to hide better.
She's the
Yeah.
master of unlocking.
She's a master of unlocking. Yeah.
Right.
She starts with like a bigger assault rifle type thing, and then so you run around, you fighting each other, trying to kill them, and when you die, you respawn as one of the bioweapons. And dotted around the levels, there's canisters to pick up, and depending on how many canisters you picked up before you die, you turn into a more powerful version. So no canisters, you turn into just a molded, which are pretty weak and useless. One canister in the beta you turn into Jack Baker, or one of the Hunter Gammas from Resident Evil 3, and then 2 canisters you turn into Nemesis or the Super Tyrant from Resident Evil 2. And the players playing as the the bioweapons is a lot more fun because they've got special abilities. Like Jack Baker's got his big chainsaw. You can sort of do a big twirl and spinning in a circle and chop everyone up. He's also got his punch where he grabs them and smacks them into the ground. The Super Tyrant's got a massive leap and you can skewer the players. But their health is constantly draining, so you only got a finite amount of time to play as them before you have to respawn as one of the human players again. And then it's a bit boring when you're playing as them because the gunplay isn't. It's faster than the single player games, but it's not as fun to use. Does that make sense? It's just it's somewhere in between being a good single player shooter and a good multiplayer like system, but it doesn't quite manage to be one or the other. It just doesn't quite work properly. Doesn't feel right.
Can you
never
play as
played a
Ashley from
Resident
Resident Evil 4?
Can you play as who?
Ashley from Resident Evil 4.
Not in the beta, but I'm hoping that I imagine they're going to have more than 6 characters for the final release. But maybe a bit Barry.
Yeah.
Bit of,
gonna be-
Rebecca.
bad. What's the one from 5? Oh, Shiva?
Shiva.
Shiva, yeah.
Me.
Maybe a bit of Piers Nivens.
Hunk.
No one wants any. Yeah. You can play as Hunk, actually. One of the characters in there.
Just a knife.
I think he's a bit overpowered at the minute because each of them have got 2 abilities, and his one is he can turn invisible, and then he can do like an assassinate move. But if you do the assassinate move, your invisibility lasts longer. So in theory, if you get a lineup of players, you could just remain invisible for and kill most of the opposition.
Who was your favourite?
My favourite was Jill because it's Jill, isn't it?
Master of Unlocking.
She is the master of unlocking. Her
Master
special
of blood.
ability. One of them is like a big knife slash. If you hit someone, she does like a triple slash, and it pretty much kills them in one hit. Oh dear.
And the other one?
I can't remember what the other was.
Wait, let me get it straight. So she was your favourite,
She was my favourite to play.
and you forgot the
I
ability.
can't remember
she
what the
could
other
use.
one is though. I think it's some sort of grenade. I can't remember. No, it's a mine. There we go. A mine. She places a mine down, and she can place 2 down, and they're not very powerful though. But yeah, it was alright. It was fun enough.
You managed to get some gameplay on that, didn't you?
Yes, there's some gameplay up on the YouTube channel, and a written preview up on the site as well. There we go. Yeah, so if you want to read me waffling and see my wonderful gameplay, I did pretty well actually. I got sort of first, second place most times.
Wonderful gameplay. I watched that video.
Wonderful gameplay. Wait, you. Yeah. No, it's like I said, it's more fun than I thought it'd be, but I'm not really. That is coming with Village. Is probably the only reason I play it. I wouldn't buy it on its own. I wouldn't.
Or is it coming? It's not
It's not a standalone thing.
At least, is it better than that one that came with? What's the one that came with 3?
Resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably.
Because
Yeah, I think it's probably more. It'd be more fun in the long term, because it's just like any sort of standard online like PvP game. Whereas Resistance relied on you teaming up with 3 other people against one mastermind, which was a bit naff if you didn't have sort of friends and stuff to play with, because no one really wanted to work together.
Yeah.
And knowing what the hell was going on.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, it's all right. I think the beta's finishing maybe tonight or tomorrow night. So if you are in the beta, get in there and have another go for a little while. What else we've been playing? I nearly finished Cyberpunk.
Ooh.
So close. I got past the point where it says, this is the point of no return. And I started doing the mission last night, but it was quite late, so I got about halfway through, I think. And then I called it a night, so I might try and finish that later on or tomorrow.
Still haven't started that.
I'll be honest, part of the reason that I didn't finish it last night, not only was it late, I wasn't all that interested. It just, I was like, I'm just kind of like trying to get this done for the sake of it now. I don't really care what's going on. They kept going, you've got to be really careful about what you choose. This will affect everything. And I was like, I don't really care. Just let me finish it, please.
It is true, because if you really don't pick the right one, you choose the really bad one, like I did on the first go, and completely fluff it.
I have a feeling I've messed it up. And I've
No,
gone
you'd
down
know
the bad
straight
route.
away. You literally straight away.
Oh, right, okay. All right,
Is that bad? Is that quick? Okay.
Maybe I haven't quite got to that point yet, but yeah, so far everyone's been very like, this is it. This is the big decision. Don't mess this up. And I'm like, well, I can't really I've played it so sporadically. I don't remember what's happened over the last 40 odd hours. So I'm just going to pick whatever I want and see what happens. But I did make a save, obviously, so I can go back and check out different endings and things. But yeah, so yeah, maybe finish that tomorrow or something. And one other quick one: Disjunction I put that review on Friday. It's very good. It's like a top-down 2D stealth game, kind of in the vein of sort of similar to like the original Metal Gear, Metal Gear Solid, I should say. But with like pixel art graphics rather than 3D. So you're sort of trying to sneak from point A to point B, and you can sneak up behind the enemies. All the enemies have got vision cones, so you'll know whether you're in their sight or not. And you can sneak up behind them, knock them on the back of the head. If you get spotted, you've got some different powers and stuff to use to try and get yourself out of it. There's 3 different characters, each with their own different abilities and weapons and stuff. But yeah, no, it's really good. Very enjoyable. I know you were quite keen on it, Ian. Did you get around to playing it yet at all?
No, not yet. No, definitely one of the ones I definitely want to pick up and play, because I'm quite a fan of stealthy kind of.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It probably took me maybe 7 or 8 hours to finish it.
Oh, okay, that's good.
And that was with dying quite a lot because each level there's only one checkpoint, and if you don't hit that checkpoint, obviously, then you've got to start the level again. So a lot of the time I'd spend like 15-20 minutes trying to get to the checkpoint, and then die just before it and have to do it all again.
Ouch.
But yeah, once you've done that, you sort of know the sort of sight lines and stuff to go to. You do a bit quicker going again. But yeah, like I said, the reviews up on the site, very good, very very enjoyable, highly recommended. Yeah, yeah, cool. All right, well, have we got any other games you want to talk about quickly before we move on to the next section? Cool. Silence. Silence is golden. All right. So we've got a couple of other reviews up from some of the other team. So Jake put up God's Will Fall review. Has anybody else seen this game?
I haven't, no.
Only the trailer in the Trello.
Yes, it's kind of like a roguelike dungeon crawler. He seems to be quite keen. He gave it a 9.1.
Wowzers.
Nice.
Yeah, his reviews up on the site now, and he seemed to really dig the gameplay and the sort of combat and stuff. But he said it can be quite difficult, and at times there's penalties that your characters acquire can seem a bit too random and harsh.
I think he loves those kind of hard games, so he likes to suffer.
Yeah, I think it's sort of like a like I said, like the Dark Souls style, punishing, rinse and repeat type thing. And let's have a quick look here. He also put up, oh god, I've got to say this right, Ouija, something like that. Yeah, which again he was very high on. I think gave it a 9.2. That was like a 2D adventure type thing. So I think you start on an island and you have to go through and explore basically and discover. I think you have to rescue your shipmates after you've crashed on this island or something. And it looks the visuals itself don't look all that interesting to me. But yeah, he loved it. He said it was, well, obviously very good, 9.2. He said the entertaining gameplay and focus on combat and exploration and brilliant soundtrack, and he really dug the visual style and that. But he said boating trips with the old boatman, every time you go to a location get boring after the first few times, and some areas get closed off once you've done them, so you can't go back and collect anything you might have missed. But otherwise, it's all positive pretty much in his review. So again, go check that out on the site. And obviously, we've talked about in the Medium, which is on Game Pass. I don't know if you've heard of Game Pass, best deal in gaming. It's very good. Go and check it out. Go and subscribe. Yeah. Okay. So speaking of Game Pass, kind of segue into Games with Gold. Dan, do you want to do the honors?
Yes, I've got loads here. Right, okay, so if you're live on Twitch, quickly go grab yourself Little Nightmares. You've got Dead Rising, which is available until the 15th of February, and you've got Breakdown until the 31st of Jan. So go grab those two if you're listening on Twitch. If you're listening on the podcast, I'm sorry you've missed them.
You've missed the boat.
You have. However, you have now got the opportunity to get Gears 5, available from the 1st of Feb until the 28th. Resident Evil, again, from the 1st until the 28th of February. You've got Dandra Trials of Fear Edition, and that's available from the 16th of February until March the 15th. You've got Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, and that's available from the 1st of Feb until the 15th. And last but not least, Lost Planet 2 from the 16th of Feb until the 28th. And remember, that's 5 games that they tried to give us while increasing the price of something and not sticking with it.
They give us one extra game for double the price.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay!
I missed that. Could you read them out again?
No.
No, it's a business.
Resident Evil, though.
I know we've discussed this last week, but Ross, are any of them sort of take your fancy at all?
I'm tempted by Resident Evil. I haven't played the remasters of any of the new ones, so I think Resident Evil will probably be the one that I'll jump in and grab. Gears 5 already done, so that's the one that stands out the most for me. Yeah,
that's a good shout. That remaster when it came out on the GameCube was awesome, and they sort of upspuffed it a bit for the Xbox and that when they brought it over. So yeah, good choice. Always good choice to play Resident Evil.
All I need to know on that is there dogs in Windows?
Well, that would ruin a surprise, wouldn't it?
Oh. Joyce.
I've heard
If
there's
I
a couple
remember it. Go on. No.
of. No, I was just about to say, I've heard there's a couple of dogs under a table, though. If you look to his.
There is, yes.
Right. Everyone's looking at me going, are you nuts? Never mind, anyway. Move on.
The
What?
first one.
If you look behind Ross on his right-hand side.
There's dogs under there. Oh, I thought that was a shadow. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
A real dog.
Real dogs. They're the best.
Yeah, just shut up.
Yeah. It's it's a good remaster. Have you played the original, but like the old like Saturn and PlayStation? Yeah. So yeah, it plays with your expectations in quite good ways from what I remember.
There was, I can't remember which one it was. It might have been, what one of the newer Resident Evils, I think it was either 5 or 6, you got a DLC that took you back to the mansion.
Sorry, we don't talk about them ones. They don't exist. Them ones.
What, 5, the best one in the series?
Are you...
You're going to upset him now. He's getting triggered.
It was 5. I can't remember the name of the DLC. Yeah, you've played as Chris and Jill. I think you went back to confront Wesker.
I went back to playing that with a person who had never played the original trilogy and sent them down that corridor first and just sat back and hilarity ensued.
I don't think I ever played that DLC now. I'm trying to remember. But then again, we don't talk about 5 and 6, so let's move on. All right. So, anyone else got anything else they'd like to talk about this week before we wrap it up and go and watch some big sweaty men wrestle in the ring?
I'm just going to give a shout out to our Apex gang team thing that we've got. So if you want to join me and maybe Ian and some others playing Apex, we have an Apex crew. And is it Tav is the tag? Am I correct in that, Ian?
Yeah, Xtav is the tag. Xbox Tavern is the name.
Yeah. So if you want to come squad up, join the team. There's
if you want to carry Dan to a win.
Hey, no,
It's a more accurate analogy.
I grabbed a win not so long ago. So join. There's only 30 spaces, and we've already taken 5 or 6 of them. So, yeah, if you want to join, jump in. Season 2, baby.
Sounds good.
8
Sounds
to
good.
me.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I said 2. I meant 2nd of Feb.
Living in the past. Oh yeah, that's coming. Oh, speaking of that, it's February 2nd as well. Division 2 Resident Evil items. We have to get back on that.
Oh, is that when it comes out? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Division 2 date.
More. Yeah. So next week, I have to get back on that one. Cool. Ross, got anything else you'd like to shout out before we go?
Everything I've got, yeah.
Lovely. All right, Grayman.
No.
There's one thing I do want to say is that shout out to Division 2 is if you do play with Jamie, prepare to be reviving him a lot.
Outrageous.
It's fine. I can imagine Jamie at least remembers all the buttons. Hey, Dan.
That's questionable as well, to be fair. How do you throw a grenade? That's me asked that every time. Or was that Pete asked that?
That was Pete.
Yeah, well, me.
Pete, every time he plays, like, how do you throw a grenade?
It is a weird combo.
It's not the most intuitive layout, is it?
No.
I'm glad you 3 agree with me. You can.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Right. All right. Well, this has been Xpod Tavern episode 14th. I've been Jamie. Been joined with Daniel.
Hello. Bye-bye.
Graham.
Hello.
Hello. We're going now. Bye.
I know. I'm saying hello.
Ian.
Bye.